old stomping grounds, our home area, home base, and we are helping a family today get some answers. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about what's going on in this space or what they're experiencing yet, but we will figure that out. Our job here is to give them answers and to help provide them resolution. I feel a lot of intuitive energy in the home, and a lot of ear ringing right now. And so there's a lot
That was an actual ring, but...
No. No, my ears are pinging and ringing. So the intuitive energy is part of the equation, but this house also has a lot of spiritual energy. And I think that most of it belongs to them, but I haven't kind of sussed it all out yet. There are several different energies that I felt. I felt an older female. I felt a male probably in his 60s to 70s. But they're all kind of popping around, and there's at least 3 other spirits that have not stepped forward yet. Okay. And they're just kind of weaving in and weaving out. But I feel like they're all positive. I feel like they all want to convey a message, but I can't quite hear them just yet. So we need to walk through the space. We need to give them an opportunity to become comfortable with us and let their guard down spiritually, so they'll want to talk to me or talk to one of you guys, or maybe talk through one of the devices, and just kind of figure out who they all are. One of the energies here, one of the males, feels very, very protective. He feels almost like it is his duty to guard the space. It's very, very targeted, focused. I'm going to protect them. It's very focused guardian energy. And if he's not military, he's acting like it. He's got a very, that type of dynamic. One of the energies is giving me really tight chest pain. Lot of pain in the upper chest. It really is uncomfortable. And another one of them made me feel quite a bit of hip and lower back pain. I'm also feeling somebody with sort of like an esophagus or a throat issue. It's very clamped, very tight and clamped in the throat. And I'm not sure what that means just yet, but it's really, really tight right here. Kind of hard to swallow almost, actually. And I'm being told that somebody can't sleep. They're being woken up a lot, and that they're having what they think are dreams, but they sort of aren't. They're sort of like halfway dream, but halfway really not dreams.
What do you mean by that?
That they're trying to blame it on a dream, but it's actually something visiting them.
Okay.
But they're saying no, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. I think grounding is important here. People need to be more grounded and more protected, so they don't invite strangers in, as far as energy-wise, energies that don't belong. There seems to occasionally be energetic crossover. There is this very, very loving female that is almost indicating like she held one of the souls before, or really early on when it came back in or was coming into this world, and she feels very connected to it. I can't quite see her. Her hair looks a little bit lighter, but I don't think it was always that light. I just see it lighter now. So we've got a lot of spirits to deal with and sort out, but I don't feel threatened yet. I just feel a little overwhelmed, quite frankly. I just feel inundated right now, and I don't find it to be negative just yet, but I haven't done the walkthrough, so I may run into something that's a surprise. So right now, we just have to get them answers. We have to get to the bottom of what's going on, and maybe it's just family that wants to get their message across, and if it's that simple, we're happy to help them do that. So we'll figure it out. It's weird. I feel I feel this energy in here of I don't know. I feel like a sadness. I feel a sadness in the space, and I don't know how to quantify it. I just feel sad in here. Loss, sadness, loss of loss. And I don't know, I have no idea why I feel that way. I just felt a lot of like sadness in that area in there, and I don't know why. I just felt, man, just kind of like sad, depressed in there. A lot of loss. And I don't know why I would feel that way in a random room, but I just felt really depressed and just sad. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Little Sage will fix that.
It's weird.
And you guys can participate in the whole walkthrough too.
First time having this.
Yeah. Obviously, so what we would want you to do is, I don't need any leading information, but if anything I hit on makes sense or is valid to you guys, you can say, you know, I resonate with that, or that makes sense, and then we'll put all the pieces together. But without saying anything too much, yes, like basically yes or no, is anything that I have touched on so far resonate?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's a resounding yes.
That was a resounding yes.
A little too strong. I didn't
No,
think it
no,
was
that's
that
good.
much.
I like it when people agree. That's helpful to me.
Do we have a skeptic in this case?
I don't care. Skeptics don't bother me.
I like skeptics. They're my favorite.
Skeptical until
Hell, I am a skeptic, and I'm the medium.
We don't always just say everything's paranormal.
No, we like to do a lot of work as far as making sure people know that not everything is paranormal. Sometimes there are logical, scientific explanations as to what is happening in a space. We don't want everyone to get all worked up and think everything's, you know, dead people. It's not all paranormal. Ooh, the ringing in here is
Super loud.
A little psychometry. I just feel the energy of a space. Like literally.
Feel free to lay down.
I might.
You'll really feel something.
I'll probably fall into the abyss. This is interesting. This is actually quite unique. It's tingly. I almost feel like I'm. You know the feeling in my room where I sleep in a stable portal because I'm an intuitive.
Right.
It's that kind of stability of a portal, like leaking empathic energy, swirling in a space. You can almost feel it in your palms. It's electrical. It's an electrical pulse that I'm feeling.
That explains the tingling. I got tingling
it's
in this one.
it hurts
Like
quite a
standing
bit
right up.
actually. It's very.
Standing in front of this closet.
It's quite powerful
I know.
energy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
This is a similar energy to what I sleep in, to be honest. So,
So you're not feeling like it's bad.
is he empathic? Because this is very intuitive energy. This is like,
I think he might be.
because this is how my room feels. Like, where I leak my empathic energy into a space, it feels like that. So,
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a backstory.
well, we'll definitely work onto that. Like NDE, almost like near-death experience energy. Like, maybe he shouldn't have been, like, he almost wasn't on the side of the veil, and then here he is. And it's a miraculous energy of, like...
When she says ND, she means near-death
Yeah.
experience, yeah.
Yeah, this is miracle energy, like, and major intuitive energy.
With the work of Sierra, I think he's inherited some stuff from me, but I'm completely shut down and I'm working on it. And I think he's inherited it, but to him this is a negative space.
Yeah,
It's just overwhelming.
because it's too much for a young kid. I sleep in.
I called it years ago.
Yeah, most of the ability,
I
if
sleep
the
in
mom
this.
has it, it'll come from the mother.
I sleep
Yeah.
in this type of energy, but for a young kid, I was
You'd be
terrified.
super
I was
overwhelmed.
terrified of my abilities, and I was terrified of my own room when I was little. So
Is that validated?
it's not irregular, but we can lighten the energy a lot.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
he can actually be more comfortable in the space, and then we can teach him some stuff to deal with this, because I'm picturing him sleeping here, right? And then something standing over him and just pop. He's face to face with something, and I don't know if he's blocking that out or like not acknowledging that, but it's just this popping awake
He
type
won't
of
sleep in
thing.
here. He hasn't since we moved into this house.
Oh.
And when he does fall asleep by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's in my bed.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It feels intense in here. It feels
So would he hear like growling or something?
Oh, yeah.
If like he came
Yeah.
face to
Yeah, he will.
face?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he absolutely would. I think that something is trying to get his attention, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier in the intro, is that when you're intuitive but you have no boundaries, yeah, there's a lot of dead family in this house, which is great. They're protecting, they're helping, but then if you don't have any boundaries, it becomes a revolving door, and other things that don't match the resonance of the space can find their way in.
Yeah.
And we have to escort those things out, and then obviously teach you guys how to keep things managed and out, because even though you have latent abilities that you're not really tapping into, doesn't mean things aren't attracted to your energy. And if he's got abilities that he's fighting with, he can attract energy, and you guys are just these beacons to this stuff, and they're not respecting your space, they're not respecting your boundaries, and you've got some of these family spirits trying to help and trying to be useful, but there's only so much they can do. You as the living have to kind of be engaged in the management of the energy of the space. I can lighten the energy in here a lot. It just feels like it's painful electrical sensations in my palm. It's very intense. I'm used to that kind of energy because I've been better at boundaries. I've been able to kind of keep everything contained. It feels uncontained.
It's just too much and scary. You know?
I would be very scared. So I'll go ahead and I'll feel this energy over
Yeah.
here.
Because I was getting tingling right there. After I moved away from the closet, I'm fine now.
I don't feel any active portal per se, but I think that you definitely would hear sounds coming out of here. You would definitely hear movement, rattling. You would hear things out of this space. And it's almost like this feeling of like darkness coming out of things, but it's not demonic, it's not anything like that, but it's really
Can we hear about them as prime?
a very grouchy male energy that hates children, that thinks kids should be seen and not heard, and is very, very fussy, and very intense energy. So I think we need to kind of balance them out and work them out, because the female, she's trying to protect, she's trying to like cuddle and love and help a lot, but there's only so much that she can do, because this male is just very grouchy, very stubborn and grouchy, and he's always been sort of a curmudgeon about things, and it hasn't really changed. Didn't change so much. Definitely somebody with the throat still following me around, but I can't figure out who they are, but they keep following me and just showing me the throat discomfort.
And I keep getting the throat.
Let's move to the next space.
This one doesn't feel so bad.
I just feel a little bit dizzy and kind of.
Yeah, I'm swirling big time right over here
I
by
don't get
this
it.
closet.
I have a different feeling. I don't get in this from that room.
Okay, so this space feels like it's. I almost feel like a revolving door of like changing energy in here, like multiple different energies that have changed through the space. It's like different. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Like it's all these different energies in the space. It's a lot of energetic shift in here, but it is lighter energetically in here for sure. But it's a lot of turnover energy. It's like it's always something different. It just keeps.
Not very restful.
It's just different. It's just a lot of different energy that runs through the space. A little bit of abdominal discomfort too. A little bit of tummy troubles. My tummy doesn't feel so good in here, and I just feel short of breath in here. I don't know.
Standing over here, I get real wonky, super
Well, because it's connected to the other closet, so
Yeah.
that's easy enough to fix. Moving along.
Move.
Someone keeps saying that they're somebody's dad. Hey, that's a little sharp.
Okay.
Sharp in the chest.
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of hurt a little bit. Yeah, it's a little sharp pain, a little tight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, hard in the heart.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit. I keep hearing nightmares. The dreams don't feel right. Something feels wrong with the dreams. This is weird. Well, they're hitting me. All of them are hitting me. I just feel like the dreams are not right. They're not right. Peace. It's, I keep hearing, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace. There's definitely a protective male force in this space. If he's not an actual somebody's dad, he's like a dad. He's got that very protective, doting type of energy, but also there's some apologies coming out of this soul for something, and I can't quite hear what yet. They're just, I'm sorry. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, sorry. Yeah, this is a very strange energy. That's an interesting piece of furniture. This has an electrical. It's got a vibration to it.
It's an antique. It's my great-grandparents. They brought it all the way from Yugoslavia when they immigrated here.
Ooh.
Or great-great-grandparents, I apologize.
That thing vibrates. I think somebody
Somebody came with it.
likes it. Somebody might be attached to it.
It was my grandfather's parents who brought this over from, what was it, Czechoslovakia all those years ago, and they immigrated to Ellis Island, and this and another chest that's actually in his closet that has my son's memorabilia in it, and I inherited them, so.
Okay. So they would have a bit of a vibration, now, wouldn't they?
Yeah. The chest is hidden in his closet, but again, that could be maybe what you were feeling.
That could be some of the energy I'm feeling coming out of there, because this guy looked was like, ooh,
Yeah.
it drew me in. I'm like, that's neat.
That'd be interesting to see what the meters
My people.
Yeah, I know.
My family's from Yugoslavia.
It's,
people.
I feel distinctly a female energy connected to it, so it's very connective.
I love you.
Very connective. Whew, yeah, a lot of interesting. I'm gonna go feel that side now.
Did you said earlier that you felt someone came through and said, like, dad?
Yes, I heard the word dad. So I was just touching right here, and it was just, I was like, okay.
I definitely feel. I've had my hands on the bed the whole time, and
Yeah,
I could really,
Feel it.
yeah, I could really feel it.
Oh, I mean, she is ring, don't
Oh,
it?
yes. I was getting tingly all up
It's
and down.
actually
my
more, it is a little more intense over there, but, so what I hear is, how can I protect them if I can't even see it? How can I protect them? It's this deep desire to just fix, but feeling unable. And so much annoyance, so annoyed, not being able to fix everything. Really frustrated. Like a massive amount of frustration off the energy right there.
Is that living or dead energy?
Not sure yet. Somebody's got really massive, ooh, the neck pain is crunchy. Just feels really, really, really tight, right? And the neck, really uncomfortable in the neck. Oh, that's a lot of pain.
Give me this whistle. Would have been in the army.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, maybe.
okay. Well, that's good validation. Thank you.
So Papa told you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, when you're picking that up, I was gonna point out the uniform is sitting right there.
Where?
Right there.
Was Class A's from World War II. He was a survivor of the Bataan Death March.
So that gives me some good psychometry.
And he was a Bataan survivor, so.
It's in beautiful condition.
It is in beautiful condition.
I was actually still alive. This is my Alma. I called her Alma when I was a little baby.
Aw, that's really
She's my
sweet.
auntie and my grandma.
Somehow my body is calibrated to energy that we cannot see. When people are an empath, they just feel things from either living people or deceased people, and I can feel them in different areas of my body, whether how they died or something that they suffered from, and they also show me their emotions, so I can tell how they emotionally felt.
Yeah, my great grandpa had a lot of heart issues.
Yeah, I'm interpreting to the best of my ability the things that I'm feeling all over my body and trying to figure out which spirit it belongs to and why I'm feeling it, and was it something that killed them or was it something that they just suffered from during life, but they're showing me to validate. All these little things that they show me are little pieces of the puzzle that I organically have to collect, and then I dump them all on you guys, and then you guys put the puzzle together and let me know where it makes sense, where does it fit, what, where are all the pieces belonging.
So the one thing that my grandfather, this guy, was a healthy 92-year-old, and he went into the hospital with severe abdominal pain. And when they went in to operate on him, his intestine and bowel were completely black because they thought they could save him. And by the time, so it was like necrotic. Necrotic.
This horrible pain right here in my abdomen that I feel like I'm being stabbed to death right here.
That's the only thing I
Would
could
make
think of.
sense.
Oh. And that's what basically killed him. Not his diabetes, not his congestive heart failure. It was, he had dinner a couple hours later, he was in the hospital, and because it was necrotic, they just thought it was a bowel obstruction, and it ended up necrotizing the tissue in there.
I don't, for the most part, feel a severely negative haunt, but I do feel energy that doesn't mix with the rest of the good energies you have here. There seems to be something that, which of these things doesn't go with the other?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, which I think can be corrected. I think it can be fixed, but it's almost like things are just like really out of balance energetically. There's almost like nobody's communicating very well. Nobody's, there's an imbalance of living energy and dead energy because nobody's quite talking on the same frequency. That's kind of how I feel about the overall space. So what I'd like to do is sort of reboot that so you guys can start fresh and then move forward with positive, lighter energy, and then install new, happier sort of energy of your own over time and get things a little more balanced out for everyone. Being empathic, being intuitive, being a medium, being clairvoyant, it's not a bad thing. It's a gift, but it has to be really well managed. And I'm glad to hear that you've been working a little bit with Sierra and all of that, because that is something that is really an important part of the aftercare for folks that have a little bit of ability. It just helps lift stuff off of you and helps continue the growth. Because we come in and we press reset and get the space back to feeling good, but if you guys then don't do anything else after that, it's like, okay, well, now what? It's like you have to sort of continue the journey. So I'm glad to know that you are working on some of those things. It's just very, ooh, God, that really hurts. It just gives me all these different joyful pains. Where am I going now? Where are you taking me? One of the male spirits in this space, I don't know which one it is, he's saying, well, okay, well, I had fun. Now I'm going to go out to go fishing. See you later. And he's like, and he's leaving. He's gonna go do something else now. I'm like, okay, well, thanks a lot. That's appreciated.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah.
Because it's every day that you have an empath in your house.
I know.
Oh my
Right?
God.
Well, yeah, it's true. But he's just like, I'm going now. But the female's like, oh, no, you come back here. You sit down. This is we're gonna have some fun today. She's like,
This is important.
she's like snatched a hold of him. She's like, no, sit down. They're having a great time. So, I think I've been poked and prodded enough by your dead people.
Okay, cool.
All the things, as far as anything I said that made sense to you, you could start there and then.
Wow.
And then.
Okay, so first off, I have to tell you, he's like the world's biggest critic.
I was just
And
going to say that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I picked up on that earlier on you.
Sorry.
I'm texting my sister.
Oh, okay.
But no, we love that. We love skeptics.
It just
I don't know what to
wheelhouse.
believe in this. Okay, I really didn't. I'm a skeptic 100%.
Good.
Okay. You picked up so much things that could be related to my dad. That's unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful.
And the only reason that it bothers me is that he's never met him.
Well, he hasn't.
He had cancer.
He died before he was alive.
He does know him now, and
Sure.
you know.
There was things that I have never met Aaron's grandfather, but you picked up on a lot of stuff that would match him from the things that she told me.
Okay.
So that kind of freaks me out a little bit. But the main thing that I want to know is that my son doesn't like his room at all.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
Well, we need to fix that.
Yeah, I feel there's just like a lot of bad spirits, and they're like, I'm getting like almost like every time I sleep in there, I feel like I have nightmares sometimes.
And I felt the nightmares.
Yes, definitely felt the nightmare.
Yeah.
That's my number one thing here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see my dad know
Of
that he's
course.
fine, blah, 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 and her grandfather, but my son is the most important
Well,
thing.
there's one grouchy guy that I don't think belongs to the mix, or I
Well,
don't.
I don't know, it could be my dad.
Well, it may be.
I love you, Dad.
But we need to simmer everyone down so everyone gets along.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're young, you'll feel a spirit and you'll feel that they're evil or bad just because we're not communicating, we're misunderstanding each other. You feel one way, they feel one way, and you're not communicating, in the right. You know how sometimes when you talk to a friend or family member and you're both trying to say the same thing and you're trying to get to the same place but you're not communicating right, and you squabble anyway even though you're not, like, you have the same goal but you're just not hearing each other. Sometimes that happens with the dead too, and they can be a little forceful, they can be a little aggressive, and we just have to make sure they understand to, be gentler, especially with a kid. They shouldn't be pushing you around. They shouldn't be startling you, yeah.
I know when my dad's dad comes because he flickers the lights sometimes here, and that's what my
Oh,
Yeah,
And what do we see outside?
a blue jay because his band is called the Blue Jay.
those are absolutely signs from the other side, and we should pay attention to those. They are trying to say, hi, it's me, I'm doing okay, They are trying to let us know. But the stuff with the nightmares and that kind of stuff, I honestly think that's coming from the fact that you have some ability, but you're so young. You haven't got all the way, you haven't figured it all out yet, and that's all right. You don't need to figure it out yet. You just need to learn how to stay
Well, let's
in a bubble.
18. I need to figure out more hard stuff.
You'll learn, keep learning. We all learn as we go, right?
When I started kind of going through this process and journey, it's because I am the only one in my family that has never had visits or dreams about my loved ones that have passed. I've never had a dream about him. I've never had a dream about him. I have very vivid nightmares, and you picked up on the nightmares and the not sleeping.
Oh,
that's me in a heartbeat.
Okay.
And the first thing that Sierra picked up on me is, she's like, the first thing we need to do is work on your sleep.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
and she picked up on that right away, and she knew that I was either a teacher or a nurse before even meeting him. I'm a nurse. She knew that either animals or kids or both love me, and that was it.
Yeah, it's in your aura. So
And that's what she picked up. She said my aura, it's
got a lot of green in it, a lot of purple in it. Yeah.
And I've never. And the thing that I told Shane, I said, like, I have always had a sixth sense about people. Like, I can feel if they're good or bad people. And he never understood that until, like, later on. Like, there's friends of his that he's not friends with anymore that I right away did not like.
You just knew.
I just knew. And my aunt's the same way. The one, my favorite aunt, I'm gonna go visit. And, like I said, I've never had dreams. And so it's one of those things. It's just like, if he inherits a lot of his emotion and feelings from me. He has a big heart. He's kind. He's sweet. He's giving. He's caring. But he's inherited that, and for me, I've completely blocked it out over the years. And I want to open up those pathways, and so Sierra, I'm hoping, is going to help me open those up.
She will definitely.
That is a typical aftercare option that I recommend to people when I discover if they're intuitive or empathic, is to work with someone like her.
Yeah.
And if you can get into her, her specifically, because helping people grow in their abilities. Aftercare is often very important. After we've done our part of the equation, you, like I said, you have your own work to do, your own homework, as it were.
Yeah.
And she is often part of that. So I'm glad you already sort of started with her and will continue with her. And I don't know if she does work with kids or not. I can't really remember if she does, but I think that,
So with him,
He
it's
could
just
use-
kind of like I don't want him to be completely shut off, but I know with him being so young and open.
boundaries need to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Boundaries.
he, ever since, and it's, when he was a baby, he'd be in the corner of his crib talking to a corner of our old house. This is back at home in Minnesota. And
Wow,
he'd be
you can see
laughing
them.
and
Oh, yeah.
chuckling
Sure.
and
Oh,
nothing
sure.
scary. He would just be laughing and
No,
giggling.
he could just see 'em.
smiling, having a good time.
But as he's gotten
Almost like he's having a
older,
conversation with somebody.
it's
He
literally
probably
in the
was.
last 3 years that
Yeah.
we started him in the middle room and in the bedroom, and he just in the daytime he'll be in there fine as long as the lights and windows are open and there's sunlight coming in. The minute the sun goes down,
Yeah.
he won't go to the bathroom or in the hallway by himself. All the lights have to be on. One of us have to even bring him to my room, and he's been sleeping with me for literally the last 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, kid.
kid.
Well, and here's the thing. Just because they're dead doesn't
mean you're gonna haunt them.
Yeah, and doesn't mean they're scary. They might be nice dead people. I have lots of nice dead people in my house. I love them. They're my family. They're great.
Well, technically, all of our family that I have seen before are really nice, actually, people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So and that's what's mostly here.
I think like
So-
our whole family's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get you to the point where you realize, hey, it's probably just some great grandparents and some other relatives, and you don't have to worry about those people down the hall because you're related to them. They don't want to hurt you. They just don't realize that they're kind of getting in your way and startling you. Maybe if you go down the hall and say, and identify them by name, give them all the names and just say, hey, this person, hey, that person, I'm coming. Can you guys kind of step out of the way for me? It'll make me feel better. You can talk to your relatives.
Oh, yeah,
Even if they're not here. You can just say, hey, grandpa, hey, grandma,
You're allowed to give him rules, Landon.
give them boundaries. Tell them, okay, so if you have a friend at school and they're taking some, so
that's good.
So if they take something out of your lunchbox and you don't want them to do that, wouldn't you say, hey, that's mine?
Yeah.
So couldn't you tell the relatives, I'm sorry, that's my room. Can you guys step out of the way? Just be polite. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be angry. Just say, excuse me, I'm going to come through now. Yeah, you can do that, right?
Sort of.
Sort of. I think you can.
One
I
time-
think you can.
One time I actually, one of our family members told me a story that when they were like a kid, they actually like heard one of their relatives before, I believe, and I think they were like happy, got a little scared because they didn't know what was going on.
It could be weird, yeah. It
Very
could be
weird.
startling.
And also, I sort of saw one of our cats named Rocket like some violence. I think
Oh
I saw him
yeah,
one time.
spirit pets are very much a
Spirit
real
pets
thing.
are
I think I saw him
very
once
real.
at school. Like, one
I
of
got a
the
house
cats
full
at
of
school.
them. Yeah.
I think I saw him at school was keeping an eye on me.
Aww.
Oh, that's so
Only
special.
one
I
time
feel him jump on the bed.
Yeah.
He used to jump in because he used to come in.
And also it hits a little bell. He has a little bell on
Do you hear his little bell?
Not me, my mom. She said she heard it like this. I was like, bling, bling, bling.
That's so special.
I heard a meow the other day. I heard a literal meow, a disembodied meow in my own house. A couple days after my loss, yeah. I heard a very distinct meow. I was like, wait a minute, that cat is not here now. So, so it's a real thing. It is the spirit, and and they're all here to help. They don't have to be creepy. They don't have to be scary. But I understand at your age, I felt how you felt. I would not sleep with the lights off. I had the same problems. You're not alone. You're not weird. No. This is, to me, you're totally normal.
Absolutely normal.
Totally normal.
You're
just special.
because I don't know what's going on in my room.
What if we help you get comfortable with it and ways to protect yourself? Because I actually have a few rocks and crystals I'm going to leave with you. I know rocks seem like a weird
I
thing to
had
But the rock was right there.
Yeah, I have one rock. It's a quartz. I have a quartz.
Well,
That's an amplifier.
Quartz is great, but it amplifies. I have a slew of little rocks that are going to be very helpful for you, that will keep you protected. If you hang them above your bed, it will help you be comfortable in your space a lot more.
I actually have a dream catcher with me, like
I saw
for, like,
that.
all the nightmares.
Yeah.
So then,
But it doesn't work. It feels like
Well, it's not hung the right way.
Oh,
It's not bad.
It needs to be hung where it actually has airflow. So you need to hang it on the ceiling, so the sunlight can get through it to clear it and clean it, and so the airflow and the dreams can flow through it. Up against the wall, it has no flow.
My dad lived in New Mexico for a really long time,
Oh.
and in New Mexico, they're very in tune with their culture and spirituality. And this was actually handmade, and I can't remember what tribe did it, but it's actually handmade by one of the tribes that my dad really connects with in New Mexico.
If you just rehang it in a better way,
Yeah.
it will be very helpful. But that, in conjunction with a few rocks that I'm going to give you, will really, really, really improve the situation in there. And we're going to smudge the living bejesus out of your room to spiritually wash away energy that just doesn't belong. But you're gonna have to teach the spirits to not push your boundaries too, which is by talking to them and saying, no, thank you, no, excuse me, that makes me uncomfortable. No anger, no fear. Yeah, if somebody tries to snatch, your cookies out of your lunch, it's like, no, thank you, I don't want you to do that. Same thing. I don't want you to bother me in our room. No, thank you.
maybe, yeah.
I think you can.
You can,
You're a pretty smart kid, and you're a pretty tough kid. I think you can do this.
Yeah, playing a lot of soccer, getting balls in my face. I think I'm fine.
See, you're tough.
See, you can do it.
What do
You'll
you
be
see?
fine.
If you can handle that, you can handle a few dead relatives. What else made sense to you guys as we were wondering? What other things kind of resonated to you guys that we felt, picked up on, that kind of stuff? I mean, obviously the people so far that I've been picking up on.
The heart stuff.
Who does that belong to?
Could be one of two.
Okay.
I had an aunt who died of a massive coronary at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Very young.
Okay.
On vacation with my other family members.
Oh, jeez.
And my cousin found her in the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
And then my grandfather, who just recently passed away, he started with congestive heart failure, and that kind of snowballed and led to other things from edema to kidney function shutdown, very weak. And
I may have been feeling both of them.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, maybe that's why it was so intense. Because there was double.
Yeah, because I was
double
double
heart
feeling.
trouble.
I was feeling double the pain, so
Yeah.
it was probably
So
two people.
I don't know if that is what started his health conditions, and it kind of snowballed from there, leading into
Yeah.
other things.
Domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
My dad.
well, then your dad, well,
My dad had the throat cancer, led to heart.
Oh, there's the throat
the
thing.
throat.
Okay.
That's why I was
Died of
feeling
a heart
that.
attack, massive. He's had
He had the
quadruple
widowmaker.
bypass,
Holy cow.
survived, and then ultimately did, obviously.
and then my grandmother had severe cancer, and she's very much, when you said something about holding, I don't know much if maybe like she held me after I was born or something, and you said that, I know,
I saw her holding a little tiny child and being so protective over this energy, and then she's indicating that she's still protecting the energy.
my
So
grandma. Well, it was funny when you said that, like you said someone was leaving, that woman was reeling back in, I go, that
Yes.
sounds like my grandparents.
Yes.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
My grandpa would like kind of wander off and go sit on the patio, like.
Oh, so she was trying to go
That's
get
so
her.
Yeah,
funny.
she would kind of be like, no, you get in here and finish the conversation.
She
and-
said,
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like a
That's so
military
funny.
person a lot. That reminded me of your grandfather.
Well, my other grandfather, he wasn't in the military, but he was very militant, and
Yeah.
he ruled with not an iron fist, but he was very, very kind.
Very
Stern.
regimented in a lot of ways.
He was, I mean, in a way.
Yeah.
So, in a positive way, but
Oh no.
yeah, but he was a good guy, good energy, but at the same time, when he needed to be stern, it was, and
could
he
be.
ran his household that way and
Okay.
that kind of thing. So.
So a lot of what we felt so far makes a hell of a lot of sense to you
Yeah,
then.
it's just narrowing it down to who it actually
It
is.
could be
Yeah.
all of them too.
Well, it
That'd be
sounds
awesome if it was.
Yeah, it sounds, because I feel like it's a full house, it sounds like I picked up a little bit from all of them.
Yeah.
Little glimmers of each of their body pains and issues, a lot of their personality traits. And that's how I work as an empathic medium. Some mediums get different information in different ways. Nobody's better or worse about how they interpret information. But the way I pick it up is I just get these glimmers, and it really is like either charades or Pictionary with the dead. You know, they'll just show me these flashcards of little random things all over the place. and then they'll make me feel different things all over my body. And then I just take all that organic fun and it onto you.
He said that my husband, who's the world's biggest skeptic, right away when he picked up on the throat, he just started bawling over here because he knew.
Sorry.
I didn't know. And
I'm
just
glad you did.
So
But
I'm
my
glad to
son
validate
has
for you
something to
guys.
ask you.
Oh,
and I
please.
really wanna-
Certainly.
one time we were down in Florida for 2 weeks, me and my mom, and my papa made a day with me, with my great grandpa in Florida. He made a day with me. We went out to have lunch, and with my phone, and my parents did some stuff. We actually got this. We actually had a burgers, and after that we met Mom, Dad, Momo.
He's
Not
adorable.
my dad, my mom, my great grandma, Momo, and my auntie Shannon at the pool, at their pools, and
That's a great picture.
This is the
Yeah.
gentleman who just passed a month ago.
Oh.
it was July 31st.
Oh, all right, good for you.
it was 5 days before my grandparents' 68th wedding anniversary.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
My grandmother has no
he's
problem
a-
saying, we're only been married for 67 years, he missed it by 5 days, so that's his problem.
But
No,
he's got one of our old phone, my old phone.
He's
and I
done
give
it.
it to him, play games, and take pictures. And this is one of the pictures we found on his.
That's so
And
wonderful.
I sort of watch
That's really.
videos on it, like YouTube videos. I can watch that.
Yeah,
They're
but
only
you
on
got
the internet.
you.
That's
got pictures
awesome.
of You and Papa.
That's
That is
really
so awesome
important.
that that's on
This
it.
is actually by me. Took a picture of this, and then
You did a good job.
He did most of the work too. So
That's awesome. That's really,
I was
really.
actually sad
I like
because I
this
didn't
energy.
really want to leave my mom, and my mom was, but I wouldn't. I actually had a blast with him.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that you did.
And-
Very palpable.
No wonder we got hit with the
Yeah, I understand why I was feeling 17 different things all at once, because all of your dead people rushed me. Made me feel it all at the same time. Okay, well no, it's my turn. It's no, she's a pincushion. Ta-da! You know, yay for me.
Well, and that's really cool, because like I said, because I'm so shut down, but it's like there's just something that won't allow it in yet. And
A little
so
bit of
that,
it-
so
it's
to
fear-
know that you're
it's-
picking up on stuff
It's
like
fear
that.
and grief. It's a mixture of things,
It's-
and not knowing if once you open it, if you're going to be able to handle it or control
Yeah.
it. That's where you're.
And I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I'm very nervous about is once that door is open,
You can't close it.
yeah, and then it's like,
But here's the problem though, it's more open than you know right now, and the reason that you're so stressed and so anxious and having so many dream problems like nightmares and all of that kind of stuff is because you're blocking. Your desire to control it so much is actually making it a worse experience. If you carefully open the door with all the protocol, with help from Sierra, making sure that you're grounding, that you're protecting your aura, the meditative process, you're doing all of that protocol, it will be a much better experience and you won't feel so negatively inundated. And the same for your son. He is wide open and there's no walls. The same, I don't know if she's taught you like kind of put a bubble around you or do that kind of thing.
no, we haven't gotten that far yet, so.
So both of you need to be bubbling. You need to, however you imagine it, everyone's different the way they meditate and imagine a bubble. Some people picture it's like a disco ball where all the mirrors are reflecting everything off of you and you're inside the ball and you're safe. Some people see it as more like a viscous, gelatinous, gooey protective bubble of pretty colors. Some
However
people
you want to
see a
envision it.
soap bubble, and everybody's got a different way they see it. But whatever works for you, to put yourself inside that sphere and that energy and that bubble is what you're gonna want practice with both of you of grounding, and that will help you manage what's already here. Because I can't take away paranormal activity when there's gifted people in the house, but I can turn the volume down and teach you how to keep the volume at a level that's not like a massive rock concert. It doesn't have to be screaming loud in your face. And at the end of the day, if you want to tell your dead people to back off or to calm down,
You can do that too.
you can.
Like,
I have
that's
one
so
question
sweet.
on your behalf. So the one that probably doesn't belong in there, which I literally was in there before you guys got here to check it out, I'm a little bit impacted. And I felt that growling when I lay down on that bed. I felt growling. So the one that doesn't really probably belong in this family, how do we...
I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to bless the living hell out of this house. I'm just taking it out of here. And all I'll leave in the space is the loving family that belongs. That's all. And then, and you guys can watch as I bless the house so you know how to refresh the blessings. Like if you want to smudge a month from now and you just want to take care of, keep energy, because he's a little open, you're going to have to keep, it was a little weird there, I gotta tell you.
Yeah,
A little
definitely.
weird.
So I felt nothing in one corner and I felt nothing near the door, but
Yeah,
then on the bed I went, okay, and then I laid down and I went, what is that noise?
Yeah, it's not quite right. But we can teach you guys ways to take care of this. And then as far as, obviously we validated some stuff, but it's up to you how far you want to take this, how much engagement you want to push, because I don't want to push your guys' boundaries. Do you want us to walk through with some meters, to try to take some readings, to figure it out? Or do you want to focus on, like, which angle do you want to focus on? We can go everywhere from just playing with meters to actually talking to them, to just skipping to the blessing. I
would love to try and reach out. My number one concern is him, always, and that was the whole reason I said it. I don't care if no one comes to visit or talk. If my number one concern is giving him some sense of peace.
Absolutely.
I want to be validated because of me, like, I think he inherited something from me.
Oh yeah.
And because I don't understand it.
Well, there's your validation.
Yeah, so I got my
There you
validation.
go.
I just didn't realize that, so my number one thing is him and making him at peace. And if there's a way that we could connect with some of our family, because obviously, if there wasn't something to be said, I don't think anyone would be here. But obviously, you got bumped.
Because his room is a hot spot,
Yeah.
maybe we just go take some meters in there and see what we can get in
What
there.
would you like to do?
I mean, to make you guys at peace and make you happy.
Yeah.
No, but
I think that we could probably take some in his room.
let's do it.
I think that would be fine. Do a little bit of spirit box to see what we get, and then bless the space. A tri-field meter running over your bed would be good to see if you guys are leaking energy into your bed too.
Yeah.
That would actually be fascinating. So
Let's do that.
we can check a couple of areas. We don't have to do like the entire house, with everything, because really it's
Because
just
it's not the house that's.
it's not the house. Yeah,
It's just some rooms.
it's you're special, so you have a light that you can't even tell that you have, that is basically, there are light spectrums that we cannot see in physically with our eyeballs, but your energy gives off light around you that is in a spectrum that I can see because of my ability, and I can see that dead people are attracted to you, and not in a bad way. They see you as a beautiful light. They see you as safe. They
You
see
see
you
me at like a rainbow's pretty.
kind of, yeah. To be a
she sees
perfect-
that like mommy too.
Yeah, and you're as much of a beacon, except for you're trying to contain it and you're not doing a very good job of it.
Add to the list of things I'm failing at in life.
Add to the fail list. I'll grab the fail list. Here's the fail list.
But here's the thing, you're doing something about it. You're seeing Sierra, which is a huge help. You're having us into your space, which is a huge help. So you're actually doing all the right things to get control of it.
Well, this is the
Doing
first
the right
time
stuff.
in my life that, obviously, following and listening to Brandon, like I didn't feel like the weirdo.
No, and
I've always felt like a weirdo. Like I can't talk about it. I can't
Oh, yeah.
get validation.
Because people judge you.
And then you don't know who's authentic and fake, and that kind of thing. And so following and kind of being a little fly on the wall, like on his journey, kind of gave me peace and hope and validation, and realizing I'm not alone. There are other people out there, and I'm nowhere near as. I might not be nowhere near as gifted as like you. You're kind of like the cream of the crop.
No, thank you.
I appreciate that. And you're super legitimate, and like I said, bringing people into my circle,
It's scary
It's a
stuff.
lot. Except
Yeah.
I have to really trust them and feel that authenticity. And so,
God, I
it's
feel
nice.
ya.
It's nice to have that validation and knowing that it's okay. These feelings that I'm having, it's not being weird. It's just
It just is.
I just have to know how to. It's a power. I just have to know like how to use it. So,
Superpowers.
yeah.
It is a little weird and scary sometimes, but once you start to build your tribe, as it were, of people that you can trust, people like Brandon, people like Sierra, people like us, you start to build that sort of sphere of, comfort. That's all you really need.
I was like a pediatric nurse for 10 years, and I'm very naturally good at it, and kids are naturally comfortable around
You're
people. So it
nurturing.
answers those questions,
Yeah.
like why
Your
why
aura,
do you feel me? Why
your
do
aura
you
screams
feel me?
healing.
Yeah.
You literally are emanating such amount of green
You've gotten the right
from
profession.
your aura. it is such a healing color, and other souls just feel it. They just know. They just gravitate to where they feel safe, and that's the energy that you are giving off.
And animals know.
Oh God, animals.
They're the best.
Once you get more in control of this, you're not going to feel so weird about it. It's just going to get easier and easier and easier for you. We're going to get some meters out, and we're going
She
to.
might need some water or some juice or something for energy. So.
Oh,